And Delta Swingers off Big Road, title track, Big Road Blues. This is Jayson, Layne at 91.5 FM WMFO Medford Tufts Freeform Radio. I don't know why I keep saying radio tonight, but I am going to keep saying radio.
Van Morrison, man. You know the last waltz?
Yeah.
Turn up your radio.
Oh,
there it is.
God for
Van the man.
For Martin Scorsese.
Yes.
Yeah.
Love him.
So, Fire in the Field, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having us.
You
It's been
introduce
awesome.
yourselves. You seem to be the band leader.
I guess.
You were doing most of the
true?
talking, right? And the singing.
I was doing all the talking because I'm the only one with the microphone. Right, Jeff?
Well, now that I have a microphone, my name's Jeff.
Well, these two characters look like you should hide them.
I know, yeah. As a drummer,
I've been trying
you
to
don't
get them
give
on
us,
the mic for a while, man.
You don't give me a microphone. I'm a drummer.
It's lonely up there, man. I hear Brad. This is Brad Conant. I hear him yelling.
What's up, guys? Brad Conant playing drums with Fire in the Field.
And we got Jeff Arlotto, as you said. I'm like, yeah, I was the dude on the mic. Mike on the mic.
Got it.
Mike on the mic. I like that.
Tell us about the Fire in the Field story.
It's,
I mean, your name, by the way, fits your sound. It's perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are very electric, and you do it well.
Thank you, sir.
And you guys are seasoned. And how long you guys been playing with each other?
It's code for like you're getting up there, aren't you?
We're old.
You're kind of old.
Our knees hurt.
No.
Don't play them. We've been around the block, man. We've been around the block, you know.
Seasoned meaning you guys are tight.
No.
You've been playing together, seems like, for a while.
Amen.
It's been
Or not
been
for a long
minute.
time, but 12 hours a day.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it was a little over a year ago that Brad came into the picture to go to Austin, Texas, and we did a little Southwest run. Fire in the Field as a band has been, where do we go? Where do we begin? I mean, Jeff and I we took guitar lessons from the same guitar teacher in Exeter Music, downtown Exeter, New Hampshire, Ned Chase, of a 25-year band called Truffle, an amazing musician. So Jeff took bass lessons, I took guitar, and that was, I think you were a year ahead of me. I actually, Jeff's kind of like one of my older brother. He's like you're like my older brother. You know what I mean? It's like you started playing music before me. I would see you going in and out of lesson rooms. I was playing guitar. I had braces. No, I didn't have braces.
That's funny, because I thought you were my older brother, so it's kind of awkward.
I'm adopted.
How does that work?
You guys got quite the sense of humor. That's good.
Yeah.
That's code for stop being sentimental, Mike.
Yeah.
Shut up,
Normal
dude.
is boring, man.
All right, sorry, man.
No. What? Where did you guys?
So-
how did you guys start? How did Fire in the Field actually start? I don't even know.
Drugs, man.
No.
Well, mostly drugs. No, it was in Exeter High School. I was playing with a couple other cats. And our guitarist at the time, Ben Losasso.
Yeah, Ben, he was a guitar player who was a seasoned guitar player at that age, at 14, 15, and I had just been playing a couple months. So getting thrown in with Jeff and Ben and a really amazing drummer called, his name's Phil Poggi. He's actually a great musician too. In New Hampshire, there's actually a really great scene of amazing players.
Seems that way. You guys are more in New Hampshire, based in the Nashua area, or the Portsmouth area?
It's south of Portsmouth is
Okay.
where we grew up. And then I ended up going to college in Boston. So we've been playing music together for 10 years at least.
Yeah. Well, my wife's from Durham, New Hampshire,
Yep.
and there's a lot of great bands that come through, like
Yeah.
Dover.
Yep, played Dover many
specifically,
times.
like the Brick House.
Brick House, Furies.
So that's good. I mean,
Definitely played our fair share of frat parties at UNH too back in the day.
Those were fun.
College.
Those were fun.
that's a
Yeah,
good
sorry.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Scary times.
So you guys also seem to be very put together when it comes to existing as a band and promoting yourselves. I know a lot of musicians, who want to be in positions like yours and listening. Like, how do you guys keep it going? Who does like your promoting, etc.? Do you have management?
I've worked with some great people. Kara Karma with Priya Music Marketing. She's an amazing person, total sweetheart, and she's got a knack for the whole, how to think about social media thing and just like how do you approach that. She's fantastic. Mark K from Here Now Labs, always been a huge supporter. Joe Viglione actually was the one who kind of got us in to do this thing. So I think when the whole thing is for me, I just always stay open, just meet people.
Yeah.
and don't meet people because you're like, what can I squeeze out of it?
Right.
Just meet people because it's
make the connection, make the actual friendships and the connection and the networking.
That's what you're trying to do with your music, right? I mean, so I think just in that respect of staying open and just doing it continuously is huge, I think. You know, I think we've gone through a couple breaks, Jeff, where we didn't know if the band was going to survive, sort of like, you know, a downturn, like, or whatever, you know, like, we'll get momentum from a release, and it takes so much work, and then you just kind of, like, crash after that. You're like, man, I don't know how we're going to rise up after this, or whatever.
How do you top that?
How do you top
that
it? So it's like, anyone who's a musician will know, being in a band is always, like, this roller coaster of, like, you have all this work and this momentum, and then it crashes, and you got to find a way to maintain it. And I think this is the first release we've had where we've actually been able to maintain our momentum, mainly because I'm older and probably a little bit more, you know, my brain is a little seasoned, fully developed scientifically, chemically.
You went from French fry to seasoned curly fry.
Yeah, exactly.
Spicy Mike on the mic. No, but Mike has been doing insane. Where every time I see him, it's, you know, he's pumping out something new all the time, and he, you know, whether it's promoting stuff in a month or the next day, you know, he's just push, and everybody's always like, "You playing with Fire the Field this weekend?" Yeah, like, hell yeah, I'm playing with Fire the Field. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah, you've been pushing
I mean,
it, man.
You should know about Brad Conant. Pretty much, if you've seen like one in 6 bands in Boston, like, you might see Brad on the drum kit.
Right.
I mean,
very
talking about
sweet of you, Mike.
talk about, you know, grinding and making the push.
You're like a Joey Waronker. Like Fiona Apple's drummer this week, and then Bex Odelay drummer.
Yeah,
next week.
literally, man.
And then REM's drummer.
Yeah, everybody.
So you're the local regional version of that.
I'm very
on your way to being world.
Yeah, you know, I'm very lucky.
Some crazy gigs. You've done the cruise ship gigs.
I've done cruise ship gigs. You know,
get out for real.
I did the cruise ship gig.
Captain Stubing, all that stuff.
It was Captain Stubing.
Permission to come aboard.
Permission granted. No, you know, I've been lucky enough to, you know, see the world and play drums, and I did the cruise ship thing. We went from Sydney to London over 4 months, and it was really awesome. It was pretty baller, but you know, nothing like actually making real music rather than reading a page. And I'm lucky enough to be a big part of the Northeast and play with a whole bunch of different bands.
Yeah.
But these guys, it's always fun to let loose. I don't play with a heavier band than these guys. You know, I play anywhere between orchestral stuff to jazz to, you know, pop, and then I get to come smash with these dudes and talk about a release.
Sweet.
I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah,
I love playing.
By the way, you're listening to 91.5 FM WMFO Medford, and we're talking to Fire in the Field. And are you guys all musically educated, like theory background, or are you guys self-taught?
I am. I'll get it out of the way.
He's a schoolie.
I did a schoolie thing.
Yeah.
But I knew that from when I was little. I wanted to do that. I'm a schoolie dude. I did the whole Berkeley thing. I hate to say that word over the radio, but you know, I went there and it was awesome, and I learned a lot. And now I'm playing music for a living, so I think hate it.
For me, I wish I knew this about myself when I was in college. I wish that I think if you go to college, know what you want to get out of it.
Yeah.
Don't let.
I'm just laughing because I'm thinking about my college experience.
You're like,
I want to be a history teacher, and it's like I want to be.
You're now listening to.
I want to just drink all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like I want to be a newspaper reporter, and then.
Well, at least you jumped around a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I kind of went into school and I was like kind of on this one track thing because I never really understood that you can.
What was that track?
Business management.
That actually probably
translates.
comes into play if you're trying to become a successful.
No wonder he's so good at marketing.
A lot of business is just kind of common sense. You gotta like step back and look at the big picture. I don't consider myself a businessy sort of guy. I don't know.
That's true.
But
you're not wearing a suit.
No.
Yeah.
For our listeners.
I don't know. We're talking about things that both have negative connotations, right? Like, oh, you went to school for music.
Yeah.
You went for
school.
It's when you go into higher education, you need to know yourself and know what you want to get out of it, because those schools, whatever they are, will try and imprint onto you whatever their sort of dogma is.
Right.
You know, and I think that's really dangerous. You can kind of lose, like, you know, your artistry or what you were actually trying to go for. But it's all hindsight is what it is. The debt isn't too great. But
Still paying.
Yeah, I hear you.
So just switching gears, how does the songwriting process work with you guys? Does one person do the main songwriting and trickles down or trickles around, or do you guys sit in a room together, or hash it out?
The real bluesy up-tempo song that we played, which is kind of the riff on the Reverend Gary Davis song, that literally came out of just one of the gigs we were playing. I just started playing that riff, and then we all just sort of picked up on it and jammed. So that's our first song in this form, as just a trio of
with me.
Jeff and I.
Yep.
That just the groove just kind of spawned out of and then it just kind of came up. A lot of the time, the older song, the songs on the record, a lot of it is just I'll bring a riff or a couple riffs, or we'll just be in a room together, the three of us, and it'll just be I think Tomahawk, the first track on the record, was the first day we went to all right, let's get back on the horse and let's play some tunes. And all right, what should we play? And I was just da-na-na-na-na-na-na, and we were like, what's that? We don't know. And it just so you kind of take that organic sort of, you have a seedling, jam, that feels good,
What about lyrics-wise?
Lyrics, I usually take that home and toil with it.
So you take a melody and then write a song lyrically to it. That's very important. That's a very intimidating process for a lot of the potential listeners that are in bands. You know what I mean? If they don't know how to do it, or they don't understand that there's no real formula to it. Everyone's different.
Yeah. Most of them go the other way. You're just like, oh, I thought this cool lick in my head, and I got these words. It's great, but I like the fire in the field sound of check out this riff. This music kicks ass, but okay, I guess I'll put some words to it, So it's music comes first, which I, as a drummer, really dig because I don't really listen to lyrics.
Well, that's like the Stones.
That's a lot of musician who never hears the lyrics.
Nope.
They just hear the melody.
Yep.
In a lot of ways, I obsess over lyrics, and I have a story that I'm telling, whether it's linear or not.
Mm-hmm.
That even if I don't exactly know what it is, I'm making a cohesive story in my mind, as I think my way through it. But the lyrics don't necessarily matter to the overall, to everyone, certain listeners, but it has to convey an emotion so that the listener is turned on by that emotion in some way that you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I do.
Yeah. The hot words,
right.
Tomahawk. That's, I know that when that comes up, I'm like, Tomahawk. I'm like, all right, yeah.
But the Stones trick was always they would find a good vowel sound that fit over a certain passage, and then they would try and write lyrics around that or something there's ideas like that.
See, that's a totally new perspective for me.
I usually don't.
And for other people.
I don't really ever boil it down like that exactly. Sometimes if I'm fine tuning something, I'll really be like, what is going on here? Oh, I'm playing a 1 minor chord to a blah blah blah, and then I'll analyze it for a second, and then say and change one note and be like, that works. You know what I mean? But that's always sort of that's the fine tuning part. That's putting the polish on it. I think if you want to come up with something cool, you just gotta play, man. How much of the stuff that we come up with is just we're just playing.
All of it. It's full sale stuff,
That's great. It comes from a real place, which is incredible. Do you have anything you want to promote music-wise as far as records, your back catalog? Where can we all find that?
Oh, you can get everything on fireinthefieldmusic.com. You can find us on iTunes, Spotify. If you just search Fire in the Field, we'll come right up.
Right.
I don't. You guys stream pretty much. That's the method.
Yeah.
Now.
So you guys are on. You guys are on all the.
We do the SoundCloud,
the
Apple Music.
Basically, you could just drop a bomb and then it just gets spread out to all of them.
Yeah.
On a CD baby or something.
We're doing the CD baby.
Just you plant the seed and it just throws a chia pet through the interwebs.
Fuzzy.
It just takes it. It takes the fast lane on the internet superhighway.
It's in the HOV lane.
And the cops can't catch them.
The cops.
You can't catch them. And your shows, local shows coming up.
The
locals,
Lizard Lounge, yeah.
Yeah, the Lizard Lounge is going to be awesome.
It's a great place to play.
I
think it's because of all the rugs in there.
It's so cozy,
yeah,
man.
Yeah, it is. It's got that.
I wonder
warm,
if they cleaned them.
Who's playing with over at the Lizard Lounge?
We're doing the Old Jack's last Saturday's residency.
Canton.
Yeah.
Great guy.
Yep.
A fellow Arlingtonian.
Yep. Nice. Arlington, dude.
It's science. Yeah, guy.
I had to do it. Sorry.
That's good. We're in New York this weekend. And we're going Starlight Lounge.
In Southbridge, but yeah,
that's the one in South. I'm afraid people get confused. The Trina's Starlight Lounge in Somerville, the Abbey Lounge. Not any longer. Rest in peace, obviously.
I know.
That's in Southbridge, right?
It's too bad. Okay. Yeah, Southbridge is far from Boston.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so close. You should definitely come.
The Lizard's going to be
Google
great.
it.
I think I'm actually going to go to I'll be at the Lizard Lounge open mic this Monday, the 29th, I think.
Stay limber.
Yeah, I'm going to do my best.
You do your push-ups and your stretching.
Yeah. It's stressful being over at the open mic because everyone's great.
Yeah.
And you're like, man.
It depends on which one you go to.
Yeah.
But I'm just, you said that and like thinking back to this one in like Cranston, Rhode Island. And it's just like, wow, okay. I'm going to rule this night.
Yeah. Love open mics, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, good luck to you guys.
Thanks,
real
man.
Quickly, just introduce yourselves one more time.
I'm Mike.
I'm Brad.
I'm Jeff.
And we are
Fire in the Field.
Wild Stallions.
Rock and roll.
Fire in the Field.
Thank you.
Jeff, I like you. You're more
Jeff's
like
laid back. He's like, I gotta go.
Like I've been on your side, and I'm definitely that guy. It's just like, Pro Tools.
Synchronized.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. It's fireinthefield.music.com.
Yes, sir.
Look at that. I did my research.
I'm impressed, man.
Oh, man.
It's been great being here. Really
Internet.
appreciate you guys having us. Thank you.
Absolutely. You guys are great. And we appreciate it. And hopefully
so much, man.
circle back with us again for the next record after this one.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah. We're actually making a live record this summer at Pink Noise Studios in Somerville.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, dude. Why did you talk about that?
I just remembered.
Well, there you go.
We'll be back.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All right, thanks,
you're listening to, that was Fire in the Field. And now we're going to play